the world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed in Tennessee, Cody McClure in Austin, Texas. Cody, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, John. It's a good day. Good to be here. Good to be anywhere. Beautiful day down here in Texas. It's windy today.
Okay, I see you on YouTube wearing the inward half shirt that when you left Tennessee, 3 months ago you said was too tight on you to wear, and now you seem to be wearing it proudly. Does that mean we've dropped a couple pounds?
A couple. Yeah, a couple. I mean, nothing serious to report, but I've been doing this carnivore keto, and I've really been sticking to it. I know you get tired of hearing about it, so I do. I won't go into too much detail, but I've stuck pretty much with it for at least a week. So, no cheats at all in about a week's time. So that's pretty good for me.
Okay. Well,
sure,
I just wanted to say that I noticed. So shout out to you. And dropping a couple is better than gaining a couple. So all progress is good, my friend. All progress is good.
Yeah, and it's a great shirt too. I mean, Todd really hit it out of the park on these shirts. I hope that business really takes off for him.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good weekend. I got my Uber going, so I've been making a little money. Saturday was the last day of the South by Southwest Festival, so I got to drive for that. And then yesterday was St. Patty's Day, and so made some pretty good money driving passengers around, driving the little honeys.
Does Austin do anything special for St. Patrick's Day?
Just white people drink. I mean, like everywhere else.
They're not dyeing anything green though, or anything.
No, they're not like pouring buckets of paint into the river or whatever that is they do in Chicago. But it was a good time though. Everybody was having fun yesterday, and it was raining too. So I thought it was a fitting St. Patty's Day because it was kind of like the weather in Ireland. It's always cold and cloudy, so fitting.
Now, when you say you had a good weekend Ubering, what does that mean in a city like Austin?
Oh, it just means I made pretty good money.
I know. How much money are we talking?
Oh, you want me to talk finances with you and the public? Well,
yeah. Are you getting shy now, or is this a bridge too far?
You're never supposed to ask a man about money. You don't ask a man how much money he makes, and you don't ask politics or something like that. But
it's religion and politics. Finances isn't one of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I was out from about 6 o'clock till probably midnight Saturday, maybe even 1 o'clock, and I made over 200.
Okay.
Which is a hell of a lot better than food delivery. It's significantly better. It's like triple what I was making trying to do fucking DoorDash. So,
okay.
And then yesterday was like, I don't know, 150, 160, something like that.
Okay. I was thinking 400 for the weekend would be really good, so that lines up.
Yeah, but I didn't even do a full day Saturday. Like, had I got out there, earlier in the afternoon, I mean, that was from like 6 to midnight probably. So 6 hours, I mean, it was pretty good money. Good.
How are the broads looking?
Oh, just beautiful. There's beautiful women down here. I've figured out there's beautiful women everywhere. I don't think that's really, one area kind of might say they have the best looking women, but I've found that they're all over the place. I've never been to a city in America that did not have beautiful women. So anywhere that's got some concentration of a population, there's going to be beautiful women.
You've never been to Indianapolis?
Oh, really? No pretty women there?
No pretty women in Indianapolis.
There got to be a few of those big, what was it Kid Rock called them? Those big corn-fed Midwestern hoes?
Yeah. I think they all hang out in Iowa, not in Indianapolis. No thanks.
Such an eloquent songwriter. Just poignant lyrics.
Skinny women, you can keep those.
I like big corn-fed Midwestern hoes. So you're telling me there's no pretty women in Indianapolis?
He was a little bit ahead of his time when it came to that. He made that statement before big asses were cool. This would have been around the time that we would have loved our petite women. Kid Rock knew. He said, "No, give me the big corn-fed Midwestern hoes."
We still love petite women. Love
I don't know.
petite and big asses.
You can't really be petite with a big ass. I don't think they go hand in hand.
No, but I'm saying like just the female in general is I love them all. They're all beautiful to me. Well, not all of them. I not like if you go to like Dollar General, but they're mostly beautiful in a lot of places.
Have you got up on stage yet in Austin?
I did that bar last week, but I haven't done anything in the last like 5 days. No,
Oh no. Oh no,
well,
everyone. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Cody's motivation has ran out. He is fatigued from all the moving. The comedy is over.
not true, not true. I just haven't really had an opportunity yet. I tried to go up last night, so I went down to 6th Street and signed up for the Joe Rogan Club, but they only draw 16 names, and there were like 70 people that signed up for that. So obviously I didn't get pulled on that. And then I went over to this place called the Creek in the Cave, but apparently they do their sign-ups Monday through Friday. And so they just pull like 4 random names out of a bucket for their open mic. And I wasn't going to stick around to be like, I'm not going to get pulled, 4 names out of 50 that were in that bucket. So I'm hoping I can figure out a more reliable mic.
Do you have a minute prepared for us yet?
For who? For you?
Well, us in the audience.
No, I mean, not really.
Me, Frank, in the audience. Frank is sitting here next to me waiting to hear.
No, I don't really have I don't have a minute really to.
What the fuck do you mean you don't have a minute? We've already discussed this.
Yeah, I know, but that's your thing. Like you just want me to. I don't know why you want me to do comedy on the podcast.
Well, that's what people are listening for.
No,
for your
it's
journey,
not.
for your comedic journey. They want to hear it. You gave them a little taste like 2 months ago. It was like, oh yeah, John, every Monday I'll have my bit for you from the weekend. I'll record one and I'll have something every Monday for you. And that lasted one goddamn week. So now I'm asking for 60 seconds of jokes, funny man.
Well, when I get I don't know what you don't understand about. I can't do it on a podcast. Like it's not gonna.
I'll laugh.
It's not gonna hit. It's not gonna be funny. It's gonna be.
It's more
awkward.
about you getting repetitions. It's more about you getting practice.
I'm working on it. You're
You're signing up for Joe Rogan's bar. You should be ready to go. You shouldn't be afraid of me and our 1,000 audience members or 2,000, however many people listen to this podcast. By the way, if you do listen to the podcast and you watch it on YouTube, hit the like button. Hit the like button and hit subscribe.
And subscribe.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see, a couple hundred people watch it on YouTube. I haven't figured out. I want to tinker today with like actually improving some things with the video presentation, trying to figure out how to actually put like intros in there and stuff. I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm a little afraid of like YouTube's copyright rules. But, a couple hundred people watch and, they like seeing us. And if you are one of those people, hit like and hit subscribe. And if you're listening on podcasts, make sure you go and rate us 5 stars as well, just because it makes us feel warm and fuzzy inside, like you're actually enjoying this.
Right.
Because I gotta say, these early mornings are becoming more and more troublesome for me, especially when you don't even have the courtesy to give me a minute of a set, a minute of your bit.
I'll give you another taste when I do it in front of a crowd again. I'll get you 5 minutes this week from an open mic. Is that what you want?
Sure.
I'll get you another 5 minutes, but I can't do it on the podcast. It's just going to be awkward.
That's fine. If you're afraid to do it in front of us, you'll definitely be ready to do it in front of all the famous people in Austin. You're right. Good call.
I'm not afraid to do it. I just I would like to have an audience in front of me that I can make laugh.
I'll laugh. There's people watching live on our streaming platform, patrons of Reed's Ranch.
People don't do this.
Patreon.com/Reed's Ranch. There's people watching and listening. They'll put ha 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 in the chats if it's funny.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to do it.
Okay,
not on the podcast.
Fair enough. I'm sure it'll work way better in front of more famous people with more pressure on it. I'm sure it'll work out.
What are you talking about? Famous people? It's just
are the Kill Tony people not famous?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean by famous people. What the fuck do you mean? What do I mean by famous people?
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean the
there's an
people
audience.
that you're.
There's a
Yeah,
regular audience.
yeah, but there's also famous people there. No.
Well, the chances of me being on Kill Tony are not high at this point. Like, I'm going to sign up, but like, I'm talking about an open mic crowd. I'm talking about just a regular comedy crowd.
Oh, that's fine. But I'm just saying you're still trying to get in front of the famous people. Do famous people not hang out at Joe Rogan's bar every night?
I'm sure there's some there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean by famous people.
Well, it's just a regular audience, though. I'm talking about the audience. I'm talking about having people in front of me.
Some people would say I'm famous in Knoxville.
Who? Who would say that?
Some people.
Who? Frank?
I'm very famous to Frank, yeah.
You're the most famous guy in the world to Frank.
Also, maybe the most normal person to him. Maybe I'm not famous at all. Maybe he just calls me Paul.
Yeah.
Anyways, you see that guy cranking his hog in the Kristen Stewart movie?
No. What Kristen Stewart movie?
There's a new Kristen Stewart movie that came out, Love Lies Bleeding, and I guess she is just a lesbian these days. Is that right? I don't think that does she even mess with men at all anymore, or is she just straight up into women, or how does this work?
She was the girl from Twilight, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know her from anything else. What'd you say? It's called Love Lies Beating?
Bleeding.
Oh, it sounds like it should be beating.
Yeah, I get it, because he was beating his meats. Although, there's a video of this guy there's a guy in the theater. There's a guy in the theater that's passed out in one of those recliners with his hog in his hand.
See, that's how my 60 seconds open mic would go on the podcast. It'd just be silence, and then you being like, yeah, yeah. That's why I can't do it on a podcast.
It's still funny. It's still funny. You don't have the stomach to go up there and just work your comedy without laughs. I get it. Not everyone can do it.
Did you ever watch the special that Norm did, like during COVID, where he's just telling his jokes and there's no audience? That's what he did.
Yeah, I appreciated it. Norm didn't need the laughs.
It's just awkward.
Some of the clowns need the audience to laugh along, I guess.
Yeah, I need a vibe. I need a good room.
Okay.
So
some people need that.
Stewart is a lesbian?
Well, yeah, I think so. She used to be with the Batman, and then she cheated on the Batman with a guy. But I think these days she's just into women. She's in this movie where she is dating this big, strong female bodybuilder. And anyways, they get it on a couple times throughout the movie, and I guess this guy in the theater was liking what he saw, and he pulled his hog out.
In the theater?
In the theater. And then
okay.
Yeah, he was watching it in the movie. And I want to say maybe in Texas. I don't know exactly about what state it was in, but I want to say Texas. I might be wrong on that.
They'll fucking hang you for that here.
And someone
get you in front of a firing squad.
He was kind of on like the handicap row. So someone above him had a good aerial shot and has a good picture. There's a good overhead picture of him holding his penis inside this movie. I don't think he was in a wheelchair. He's in one of those recliners.
Well, if he was in the handicap row, maybe that meant that he wasn't quite all there or something.
No, I just been like on the bottom. I was just trying to paint a picture. I don't think there's just an aerial shot. Although no, he's not in the handicap row at all. Now that I look at it, he's 2 rows back, and he's slumped over. And you need to. I guess you can't access your computer or phone right now, can you?
Not really. I don't have the computer pulled up, but I mean, I believe what you're saying. That
he's in a janky looking theater, but it does have recliner, and next to him, passed out with his hog in hand and his pants down, there is a half drink. It looks a little bit bigger than the shooters, but not quite a pint. A half drink Fireball pint. There's another one unopened. Some Marlboro Reds. Marlboro Reds. How do you say that? Marlboro Reds.
Marlboro.
Much like you got right there.
I love
and
a good cigarette from time to
and a
time.
lighter. So he's been drinking Fireball watching this movie, and yeah, he has passed out with hog in hand.
How's his hog?
And he was in Detroit, so not Dallas. It was a big D. I did remember the big D.
So it was a good size hog, you'd say?
Oh, I don't know. The picture I saw has it blurred out. There is an unedited version going around the internet, but the only hogs I'm willing to look at are of celebrities.
How do you not seek out the unedited version?
What do I care what his hog looks like?
Just like, wouldn't you like to know? I mean,
No, not really. Again, if it's a famous person, maybe, but no, a regular person on the internet, I'm not looking for their dick. No, thank you.
I always like to see.
Just regular people's?
Yeah. I just like, if somebody's going to expose themselves like that, like, yeah, I want to see what it's all about, you know?
So if someone sent you a video, it's like, hey, Jon had a nude leak. You're watching mine?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely want to see it. Just for like, do what?
I'll send you a picture if you want.
I don't want it to be like that because see, then it's like gay. I don't want it to be gay. It's just like, if you had a nude leaked, and like, I'm definitely going to want to see it though, for like informational purposes. You know what I mean? Like, anyone that I know, like, oh my God, like, that's crazy that happened to you. Let's take a look.
What's the information here? Just how big my hog is?
Yeah, just, I mean,
and that's not gay?
I mean, unless you're using it for gay purposes. You know what I mean?
What if it's like, hey, Jon had a video leaked of him masturbating. Here it is.
Well, I wouldn't want to watch it.
It's not gay for you to click on it and want to watch it?
I wouldn't want to watch all that because we know a guy who had his dick out, and you know,
he used to work with us on the radio station.
Yeah, and it's like, but you wanted to see it. I'm not saying
no, I didn't. I did not want to see it at all.
Listen, hear me out. I'm not saying you want to see it for sexual purposes. I'm saying you want to see it just because it's out there, like to know what he's got going, I guess. You know what I mean? Just out of curiosity. Like if you saw if a nude leaked of me, you know, because you've probably got an image in your head of what I look like naked, and you'd want to confirm that image. Like, oh my God.
I can assure you I wouldn't.
You would not look at my nude?
No.
Not even, I'm talking just straight curiosity. Just like, oh my God, it really is that small. Like, you wouldn't. Why not?
Why would I?
Just because it's interesting.
It's not interesting. It's a penis. I've seen a penis every day of my life.
I would look at
my own, by the way, just for clarification. It's my own penis I've seen every day of my life. I got an idea of what they look like. I've watched porn before. I've seen other penises. I know there's some weird, some not weird. Like Harvey Weinstein, if you had like one of those things going on where it was a very weird penis and everyone's like, oh my God, you got to see Cody's penis. Maybe then, but that would only be if everyone's like, oh my God, this is the grossest thing ever. Please look at it. And even then, I still don't think I would look at my friends because I wouldn't want to know that you had a weird penis.
I would look at like everyone I know naked, like just to see. Like again, it's not a weird. It's not like a sexual thing. It's just
I'll send you a picture of my penis.
I don't want you to do that because then it becomes gay. There'll
be nothing sexual about it. I'll just send it to you.
Then there's a paper trail. Then then one day somebody finds out and they need to go through our text for something. They're like, what were these guys up to? You know. So don't do that.
Well, that's what you're saying you want to do. You want to know what everyone in your life is working with.
Maybe a Polaroid, you know, whatever happened to a good classic printout nude.
Do you have images in your head of what you imagine all of your friends look like naked?
I have, yeah, just like kind of, I don't know. There's certain people that you meet, and when you think about them, you kind of think of them in like, I bet he's got a small dick. It's an energy thing, you know. They talk about big dick energy, small dick energy. So, yeah, I kind of have an idea, probably.
So all the men you meet in your life, you are looking at them and sizing them up and down and wondering what they're packing and then thinking about what they're packing.
You're trying to make this a gay thing, and it's
not. No, I'm not.
It's not a gay thing.
No, I'm not making it anything. I am simply listening to what you said and asking for clarification.
No, I'm not saying every person I see on the street, I look at them and I'm like, I wonder what they look like naked.
But all your friends, everyone you shake hands with, everyone you come in contact with.
No, I'm not thinking that, but like the premise was if they had a nude leaked, would you look at
No,
it?
no, no.
And
Well, that was the old premise. The new premise was that you already have a preconceived notion about what all the people in your life look like naked. That's what you said, and that you have an idea of what you think they look like.
I mean, like if you were to just ask me to do a sketch, if you were to ask me to guess, like you don't have guesses?
Not really.
Like if I told you to if I told you to picture Russell's penis, when I tell you to picture it, you have to picture it in your head. Like that's an automatic brain response. So you're picturing Russell's dick, and you have an image of it. It's like you don't know that's what it looks like. But that's the whole point of the nude leaking, is that you confirm your mental image. You see what I'm saying?
My
It's
mental
this.
image is just blurry. It's just there's nothing there. He's like Ken in Barbie.
Oh my God. Did you not have a friend in school or like some guy and everybody, like there's a rumor about him or something like, oh, he's got a massive hog. Like you wouldn't want to see it just to confirm it?
No.
Nah, you're weird.
Afterwards, in the YouTube comments, I will post Cody's number. Feel free to send him a picture of your hog, everyone.
No, I do not want unsolicited dick pics from people I don't know. I'm just talking
I'll
about.
also I'll post that on Craigslist in Austin, your phone number, and say, hey, I'm doing a scientific
Well,
research
well, okay. Well,
paper about
if
penis sizes. I'm very curious. Please send me your age and location and a picture of your hog.
Well, if you're doing that, can we do women too? Because like
Sure,
you want to turn this into all men. It doesn't
that's
have to
fine.
be all men. I'd like to have some women. Can we get some vag shots while we're at it?
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair compromise. I'll post in both the men seeking men and men seeking women,
But wait a second.
the casual encounters, and we'll get a picture of some naked people coming to you.
Wait a second though. Do you not fantasize about women? Like a woman that you've never been with, but maybe you're attracted to. You don't have like fantasies like when you're pumping off. Maybe you
Where
think
I'm
about a woman.
where I'm picturing what they look like naked.
Yeah.
Honestly, no.
So what do you think about when you pump off? You just think about like past experiences? You don't have fantasies?
Or I watch videos.
That's not good for
You
your
just
brain.
close your eyes and picture people in your life naked or celebrities naked
Sometimes, yeah.
without knowing what they look like. Well, first of all, I can't do that.
Well, that's why
T-
you got to use your imagination. That you
you
create
don't.
the vagina in your head. You create like
Technology at our fingertips means that you don't have to do this anymore. You don't
you,
have to close your eyes and think about celebrities that you've never seen.
see this is
You
what's
can
wrong.
just
This is what's wrong with
just
this country.
I
You've
just
lost
pull up
all
a video.
imagination.
I pull up a video and I listen to a girl squeal, and that's good enough for me.
Squeal.
Yeah.
You've lost all imagination. See, this is what's wrong. This is exactly what big tech wants.
Well, you're the one that's ruining imagination by trying to confirm your suspicions.
I'm thinking about women that I know. All right, and it's like they might even be married or something. Like what goes on in the brain. That's just between you and God. You know what I mean?
Am
So
I
it's
alone in this? Am I the weirdo? Because I feel like maybe if when I was in like junior high, you try to picture what people look like naked, but like I don't picture what people look like naked. I haven't in a long time.
I don't know. I use my imagination.
So you're just
So
completely just walking around undressing people.
not every
Everyone, everyone
no.
that's attractive. All women that are let's just say all women that are attractive that get in your car in Austin, you're picturing them naked.
No, I don't just look at them and like, but I'm talking about if I'm in the mood, you know what I mean?
Well,
If I'm
hopefully you're not
whack,
driving around your car in the mood,
if
giving people
I'm
rides.
if I'm waxing the old carrot. That is a problem when you just get horny randomly. Does that happen to you?
That doesn't really happen to me either. Maybe I got low
Uh,
sex drive.
well, be thankful because it
You've
is a
t-
problem.
you've told me about that before, just being in line in a grocery store and just being bricked up.
Does that not like I don't know? You see a girl wearing like the fucking yoga shorts or something, and like it, you don't just. I'm not
Eh,
saying you get hard, but you're just like, and then you can't get the thought out of your mind, and you got to go.
damn, I want a piece of that. No, no, it doesn't happen to me. No.
Maybe I'm just a pig.
Maybe you don't have consistent enough sex.
Well, yeah, I mean that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, maybe that's a part of it.
Maybe I need to get it out more or get it in
Yeah,
more. I mean,
yeah. Maybe
wait,
maybe have some more consistent sex, and maybe you'll get
maybe
maybe
try having some sex.
yeah, get a girlfriend, have a little sex, and maybe you'll become less of a horn dog.
Yeah, that probably would be good for me. Probably would be a good idea. I just got to find one that I'm attracted to that's also attracted to me. That's always my most difficult issue.
Do you find yourself disappointed whenever you do get a girl naked because she doesn't live up to the image you've had in your head that you've played for the last month?
No, but sometimes you find a nice surprise. You know what
You're
I
like,
mean?
oh,
Like you,
what do we got here?
yeah, like it's like you picture it one way and then
Those
she's,
those nipples are way pointier than I thought they would be.
yeah, exactly.
That's
But
disgusting. Let's move on.
that's the beauty of like getting a girl naked, is you figure things out that you didn't know before.
What a
It's
creep.
like, yeah, okay. Well,
So
anyway,
all the guys in your life, if you are friends with Cody McClure, just know that he has thought about your penis.
not your penis specifically, but if a
He has
nude
wondered
leaked
what
of
your
you,
penis looks like.
I've
He
got
has a he has an idea of what he thinks your penis looks like.
I've got an assessment in my head. Yeah, that would be the way to put it. Like you name a friend of mine, and I'm gonna be able to tell you what I think. Between small, average, or big. Just my own personal guesses.
Okay.
You know. So anyway, the tournament's going on. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, the Spurs were in town last night. Did I tell you that?
I didn't realize they were in Austin. What the hell are they doing in Austin? Just trying to
Well,
broaden the fan base?
I think what they're doing, and this makes sense if you think about it, I think they're trying to take the Austin market, because like Dallas has their own thing, Houston has their own thing. San Antonio and Austin are both smaller cities, but San Antonio's big enough to have an NBA team, and it's only an hour and a half from Austin. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that the Spurs would be trying to appeal to the Austin market. And they're the closest geographically of the big cities down here.
Yeah, I was wondering how far away it was.
It makes sense to me that the Spurs would reach out to Austin. I mean, it's only like 60 miles, but I just found out about this. I didn't even know it was going on. And some guy told me, and then I got some rides from it last night. Apparently they won. They were playing the Nets.
They did. They won in overtime.
Oh, I might have made friends too. Did I tell you I might have made a friend?
Cody made a friend?
Maybe. I met a couple
Oh, you dog you.
Saturday night.
What do you think his hog looks like?
Probably pretty good size. He's like he had like the farm boy vibe of like being like those guys that like work in cornfields and like operate combines. I'm talking about that kind of farm. Don't get excited. I'm not talking about a cattle farm. I'm talking about like those guys that are out farming, like on the big farm equipment.
So when you see somebody on a big combine, you think, wow, massive hog.
I think,
Or was it just the way he carried himself?
yeah, the way he carried himself. And the girl that he's with was absolutely stunning. I mean, she's like, they were making, especially, she was making me blush because she kept talking about how good my voice is and stuff. And that's always a really weird thing for me because people tell me that about my voice. Like I've got like a distinctive voice, I guess. And they're always like, it's so weird when people tell you have a good voice.
Oh my God, you should do radio.
Yeah, well, I told him I used to do a radio show, and she's like, "Oh my God, that makes sense." And then I told him about the comedy, and she's like, "Well, I would definitely like to come watch you because I know you would be like you would kill it and all this stuff." I'm like, "No, I'm really not even that good. I'm just an open micer." And she's like, "Yeah, but even if you're not funny, I can tell that like your delivery would be good." And like she was really stroking me off mentally, and I was like, "Why is this girl being so nice to me?" You know. And then they just, I don't know. We hit it off. We had similar senses of humor. They like Ron White. I like Ron White. She was 28. He was 32, similar age range. So I don't know. We exchanged numbers. They told me to text them whenever I go do comedy, and they'd come out and watch me. And I don't know. They were just cool. Just a good vibe, you know?
Do they live in Austin?
Yeah, they live here.
Okay.
Kind of north of town a bit. So
Did any of them say they had like a cute single friend they would introduce you to?
I didn't ask about that. But I would imagine this girl has some pretty attractive friends because she's absolutely gorgeous. And then I got to thinking, you know, I wonder if this is her husband or what. You know? See, that's immediately where my mind goes. Like, it goes down a dark path. Like, I can't just be friends with this man and woman. It has to become like, yeah, maybe if we can get him out of the picture. Like,
Maybe the combine blows up. Maybe he gets trapped under his tractor.
yeah,
She needs a shoulder to cry on. She needs laughter. Laughter is the best medicine, darling. That's what you could tell her. Laughter is the best medicine. So how about you come to a show and get your mind off of oh Josh? It's not his fault that he's not here. He's dead. You know.
yeah, like
But fate has brought us together.
But you see, the problem is like these intrusive thoughts come just from having a 10-minute conversation. Like, like I don't even know this girl, but like just the fact that she was giving me compliments, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill her husband. Like,
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird enough that you think after 10 minutes that you guys are now friends, but it's even creepier that you've gone on and you've replaced her husband.
well, we have exchanged numbers though, so I mean, you could say it's trending toward friendship until they hear this podcast, of course.
Have you sent any text messages yet?
Yeah, I texted. Well, I'm pretty sure the number that I got was the guy, unfortunately. So,
Would you say, hey, really great meeting you, smiley face. Hope to see you at the show soon.
No, I texted yesterday and I said, like, how was that bar that you guys went to? Did you guys get turned or whatever or something like that? And he's like, fuck yeah, man, it was a good time, whatever. Like, so I don't know. Trying to make friends, but it's got to be organic. I've told you it's got to be organic, and this was organic. We had a nice conversation. I met a cool bartender too. Friday night, before I figured out I could do Uber again, I was doing those god awful food deliveries, and so I went in this bar and I met a guy named Phil, and I was wearing my Tennessee hat. This hat, see, it says Vols. And Phil asked me, he's like, are you one of those Tennessee fans that's like talking about the real UT and it's got to be the real UT? I guess he was, familiar with online chatter. And I said, no, I don't get involved in all that stupid shit.
You said I don't even think Tennessee fans call themselves UT.
Yeah.
That was a take you had on the radio about a year ago. That Tennessee doesn't even call themselves UT.
I don't remember that.
I do.
I don't think I would have said that because that sounds stupid.
You did say it. It was stupid.
I don't think I said that.
You did. I remember.
Explain to me how the context of how I said it, if you remember it so well.
You said that we don't refer to ourselves as UT. You said UT is Texas because Tennessee refers to themselves as Tennessee, not UT.
I definitely didn't say that.
You did.
No, I didn't.
I'll find the tweets.
Is Hunter Dickinson healthy? I just had a couple notes for you on this because I'm trying to figure. Are we doing? Do you have a bracket that I can do, or is yours too much money? How much? First of all, is Hunter Dickinson healthy? Because if he is not, then I'm picking Kansas to lose the first round.
He missed their Big 12 tournament game with injury.
Right, but is he playing in the big tournament?
I don't know. I assume he is.
God damn it.
I would say yes.
What about
is he 100%? Is he 100%? I would say no.
Well, they've got injury trouble, and I'm telling you, their last two games, they've been blitzkrieged by Cincinnati and Houston, and they're not good without Hunter Dickinson. So they will lose to Samford.
They're not that good with Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
But yes, I have a bracket pool if you want to get into it.
How much money is it?
$20.
Son of a bitch. How many people are in it?
So far, you can get up to 2 entries. So far, there are, I think, like $580 in the pool. No, $680 in the pool. So, 34 brackets, give or take.
Okay, so I'm probably not going to join that one. At a certain point, it's just, for me, it feels like just throwing money away. You know what I mean?
So
Like
you'd rather be in a small, intimate bracket pool?
Yeah, like 10 people. I like about 10 people in my bracket pool. So then if everybody puts in 20, you feel like you got a real chance. And it's like, which I know you're only winning 200 compared to, 2,000 or whatever. But like, of course, I got Charlie's automated message yesterday from his stupid bracket pool. It's like a $3,000 pool. It's got like 500 people in it. Like, why would you join that? You're just throwing money away.
Well, plus they give away a bunch of free entries too, so yeah, it makes your odds even worse. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to win, your bracket's got to be pretty good, and if your bracket's pretty good, it's got a chance of winning any pool. Is the way I look at it. But like, whatever, you don't have to be in it. That's fine. I will not give you a spot. It's for patrons of Reed's Ranch, anyways. Patrons only. I was going to give you a friends and family entry, but just forget it. You're out.
I'm a patron. I'm in your chat room.
You're out. You're not allowed in the pool anymore.
How far do you have us going?
I haven't looked yet.
You got an idea, though.
I feel good about I still feel fine about our Final Four chances.
Really?
My microphone just tipped over after saying something so stupid. I mean, I don't know. I still think we're good enough to do it. Yeah. I mean, do I think we do it? I don't know. I haven't decided. But like, you just got to beat Purdue. That's it. If you get there.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Wisconsin beat them.
There you have it. Wisconsin beat them.
We beat Wisconsin. So
there you go.
On the road.
Right. I think we got a good draw, talking about Tennessee. Like, we got a good draw. The first 2 games should be relatively, I don't want to say easy, but we should be big favorites in both of them.
I'm not very good at, like, assessing a whole season. I'm just kind of reactionary to what happened recently. So, like, after we beat South Carolina and won the SEC, I thought we were going to the Final Four.
So your Final Four is North Carolina State, Iowa State, Illinois, and Auburn.
I do have Auburn in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
Well, I mean, they're a top 10 team on both offense and defense, so I mean, they got a good shot.
Well, and Bruce Pearl said that they plan to win 9 in a row, so that's all I need to hear. They've already won 3. So
you watched them win 3, so there you go.
I've got us getting bounced by Creighton in the Sweet 16. I'm hoping for better, but I don't know. I don't even feel good about us getting out of round 2 against Texas, honestly. But I figured I'd give Dalton Connect one magic performance, like where he just carries us over Texas.
So you've got Rick Barnes. You think he's going to lose to Texas?
No, I said I'm giving Dalton Connect one magic performance.
I know what you said, but deep down you said you think that you think we struggle with Texas. You said you're not even sure we can beat Texas.
Deep down, I think we struggle with St. Peter's probably, but I think we'll get to the Sweet 16. Like, that's where I made my pick. I got Creighton beating us.
After the first 30 minutes of this podcast, it does feel fitting that you think we'll struggle with the Peacocks. St. Peter's. With as much hog as on your brain, I can understand why you think the Peacocks will fare well against us.
Did you see?
Right now, the gambling odds have us at plus 134 to make the Elite Eight.
96 Bulls.
Plus 134 feels pretty good. Those are pretty low odds in terms of making the Elite Eight. You know, you compare that to someone like North Carolina, for example, who we kind of swap places with. They're plus 190 to make the Elite Eight. So we got a better chance as a 2 seed where we ended up than they do as a 1 seed out west. So we kind of got lucky with a fortunate draw.
So you do like the draw?
Yeah, I mean, I think St. Peter's is pretty bad. that's a team we should just bully and beat up. I like it because it should give our big men some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like Owaka and Adu should probably combine for like 25 points and 20 rebounds, 30 points, 20 rebounds, because the tallest player they have that plays in their main rotation is like 6'6", 6'7".
Okay, so we just dominate the paint in that game. That's how we beat them.
I mean, that's what I think.
It's probably what
now,
Kentucky thought too.
FAU didn't have a lot of size either last year, and they beat us, but at least they did have the one goofy giant, and we still had Urosh out there. So, like, I like the way we match up against them. They're not very good. And then Texas, they're banged up on their front line, and I don't know. I don't think they're very good either. So I feel confident about getting to the Sweet 16. Creighton's got the big goofy man, Kalkbrenner. He's a really tall, lanky guy, but at least he's not physical. He's slender man. He's skinny man. He's like Jonas Adu, except a little taller and a lot skinnier. So, like, if you're worried about how Adu performs against big men, they've all been pretty physical and dominant and pushed him around. This guy shouldn't be able to do that. So I like that matchup. Now, if you get to Zach Edey in the Elite Eight, I'll be worried about that matchup. But
well, they're going to lose to the 16 seed. So who is that 16 seed?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know either.
You think I just walk around with a bracket in my pocket? I don't know.
Johnny Brackets.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see the Auburn game?
Which one? The one against Florida or the one against...
Yesterday against Florida.
Yeah, I watched some of it. Why?
Did you see where that guy twisted his ankle and Jimmy Dykes and Carl were acting like it was 9/11?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that. I saw them talking about it. I heard them talking about it after halftime about how Florida was able to just keep going and maintain their composure after watching their teammate get hurt. And I was like, did he break his leg? Was it a Kevin Ware situation? So you're telling me it was a sprained ankle?
Dude, it was so awkward because, like, they didn't talk on the broadcast for, like, 5 minutes. And they just showed the floor and, like, the stretcher coming out. They were acting like it was DeMar Hamlin. Like, this guy had died on the floor. And, like, players were crying and stuff. It just re-emphasized to me how soft these guys are these days, Players crying on the bench. Some guy, like Jimmy Dykes was saying, how do you as a coach go on after seeing something like this? How do you get your team prepared to play again?
Now, are you sure it was a sprained ankle? Are you sure that's all it was?
No, I mean, he might have broke his leg or something, but like he didn't go into cardiac arrest or something. Like, I mean, I think he might have snapped a bone. I don't know.
I knew we were cooked as a society whenever we didn't finish that Bills-Bengals game.
Yeah, that really was the turning point. Got to just drag him off the field, Get him in the ambulance, get the game going. Auburn won the game, so obviously it didn't help Florida to play for their teammate.
What else you got in your bracket?
My Final Four is Auburn, Creighton, North Carolina, and Houston. I got Houston winning it. I just don't think UConn – I think UConn's the best team, but they're not going to win back-to-back titles. That doesn't happen. So I had to pick Auburn to beat them.
Not unless Al Horford's walking through that door.
That's right. You're referring to 06-07 Florida.
Yeah, the last team to go back-to-back.
Yeah, they had a good team back then. They also had what was the guy, Joaquin Phoenix or Joakim Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
He was good. He went on to play for the Bulls with Derrick Rose.
In between filming Gladiator and Signs, he stopped and won a couple national championships at Florida.
Joakim Phoenix. I've been listening to a lot of old country songs and watching Westerns. Do you want to know about it?
Do you see the way that just made me yawn just thinking about it?
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? With Clint Eastwood?
At some point, yeah, but just like on in the background.
I watched that this weekend.
What's your takeaway?
I kind of felt for Tuco at the end. Tuco was kind of a slimy, kind of a piece of shit. He was the ugly one, if you're not familiar. Clint Eastwood's the good. and then the other guy was the bad. What was the other guy they called? Can't remember the other guy's name. Angel Eyes. That's what they call him, the bad guy. But then Tuco was the ugly guy. And Tuco's always kind of trying to get one over on Clint Eastwood, but really the movie ends up kind of being about their relationship. And at the end, Clint Eastwood shoots him down as he's hanging. He shoots him off the rope. But Tuco
puts him out of his misery.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, he saves his life.
Yeah, like Clint Eastwood acts like he's going to kill him after they find the money in the cemetery. But then, spoiler alert, like, I don't know if people have seen this, but
it's been out long enough, I think.
Like a 60-year-old movie. But Clint Eastwood shoots the rope that Tuco's hanging by, and so he doesn't hang Tuco. He's just kind of messing with Tuco, and Tuco's pissed off. He's like, Blondie, you dirty scoundrel. And then that's how the movie ends. But I don't know if, because Clint Eastwood only takes half the money, and I don't know if Tuco gets his half or not because his hands are still tied behind his back. So he's like out in the desert and he's tied up. But like Clint Eastwood, so does that imply that Clint Eastwood leaves Tuco to die? Because his hands are tied behind his back, but he leaves him with half the money and he doesn't hang him. So I didn't really get the ending.
What do you mean you don't get the ending?
His hands are tied behind his back. Does that mean he left him to die?
It means he left him to suffer a little bit, but that he would ultimately live.
Well, how do you know? Because
if he was going to let him die, he just would have let him hang. No?
Well, yeah, but how's he going to take his half of the money if his hands are tied behind his back?
Well, eventually he's going to get his hands undone, or somebody's going to come up on him and steal his money, but like maybe leave him alive. It's Clint Eastwood sparing his life, but not going to make things easy with him. He's going their separate ways, but at least the murder isn't on his conscience now. He is doing the right thing in his mind. He's not necessarily going to help him, but he's spared his life.
They have kind of a love-hate relationship through the movie because they have to work together, but at the same time, they're like teasing the idea of killing each other, you know?
Right. He did right by him.
And then they blow up a bridge together.
It's not dissimilar from the end of Fast Five when The Rock and Vin Diesel have to work together, and then at the end, Vin Diesel has, helped The Rock. The Rock was dead in Brazil, right? They had a convoy get blown up, and they have Vin Diesel arrested inside the back. But the girl inside, the really hot Brazilian girl that he ends up having a baby with, spoiler alert, is in there. And, the guns are just blasting, and The Rock's down there, and he's been shot, and he's looking to his right, and his fellow cop just has a grenade thrown next to him. So he blows up, and The Rock's like, oh, no, this is it. But then Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, a.k.a. Dom Toretto and Brian O'Connor, they come out with guns. Vin Diesel gets a shotgun from somewhere. I don't know where the hell he got a shotgun from. But then, Paul Walker, who used to be...
I wish I had a shotgun.
Who used to be a cop, in the series. Brian, he comes out with the tactical training, and he's just mowing people down. And The Rock's sitting there, and he's, like, dead, right? He's dead to rights. And Vin Diesel walks over him, and he's like, is he getting ready to put me out of my misery? No. Vin Diesel holds his arm out, picks him up, and carries him back to the car and gets him to safety. Then later... The Rock, who is, a special agent of the U.S. government, he kind of throws that to the side. And he's like, you know what? I'll help you rob this bank to take this guy down because this bastard killed my friends. So then The Rock lets, the crew pull off this heist and steal $100 million. But then at the end of the movie, he thinks he's doing the right thing kind of by quote unquote sparing Vin Diesel because he's like, look, I'll let you and Brian go. But the money stays. He's like, I owe you something. I'll give you 24 hours for you to get a head start. But then me and my boys are coming, and we're going to arrest you. And Vin Diesel's like, okay, fine, let's get in the car. Let's go. He's giving us 24 hours. But The Rock doesn't know, spoiler alert, that the safe that's on the bridge is a decoy safe. There's no money in that at all. So then The Rock walks over to it and tries to open the safe, and it's just a brand new safe that they had used to try to study the safe they were stealing. And then the crew gets away with $100 million. And The Rock just laughs and says, that some bitch. And then, it sets up for the next movie. But they go their separate ways. They kind of spare each other, kind of like Clint Eastwood and whatever guy you're talking about, Tuco. It's similar.
Well, it made me wonder though. Do you think that the word brand comes from cattle? Because I got
Yes,
to
of
think,
course. Yes.
like, do you think that's where
Yes.
it comes from initially?
Yes. Yes.
No, but like when you know how when like a corporation they're talking about branding and their brand and all this stuff, you think that roots from cattle?
Yes.
It made me think about logos, like the symbols, because like when I told you I went to Gene Autry's Wild West Museum, they had that's one of the things they had in there was all the cattle brands, like the different families had like different symbols or whatever, and like the branding.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's where logos come from.
Yeah.
That's it. You think? Just yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think so.
Okay.
I mean, what else would it be? Like, I mean, typically, I would think that most of the old school branding on, cattle would have just been kind of your last initial. Maybe you throw in some type of thing underneath it, like like the Yellowstone logo, Y with a little line under whatever the hell it is. But like, yeah, like I imagine that those are both connected.
Some of them are kind of creative looking though.
Sure.
They have like their own symbol for their ranch or whatever. It's like
Well, I mean, some of those black fraternities that's what they do. They brand each other. They put the letters on their skin.
I'm sorry.
Like black fraternities. You never seen a black frat guy?
First of all, there are black fraternities.
Yeah.
And second of all, that seems problematic, doesn't it?
Well, white people aren't doing it to them; they're doing it to themselves. So, like, it's not like it's not like anything that I would think would be problematic.
But does it not kind of bring up like kind of like old wounds? Like.
Again, I think it's a choice. I think it's a choice to do it. It's not like something that's like made. And then they'll take and they'll put the letter and they'll put it right and like on their arm and burn it, and then it kind of bubbles up and scars, and that's like your mark.
Why not just get a tattoo?
Yeah, maybe they could do that. Maybe they could do that, moving forward, but kind of intimidating.
Do they use like iron?
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty sure it's just like in. I mean, if you've watched the show Yellowstone, right? Not to talk about it again, but they do the same thing on Yellowstone.
Do they
make the farm workers take the Y on the chest or whatever. Yeah, they use whatever symbol it is. I don't know what the hell it is. I think it's different for each fraternity.
I didn't know about black fraternities.
I got a crash course. Yeah, I got a crash course on that when I went to MTSU because my roommate was black, so the only parties I went to freshman year were usually the black parties.
That checks out.
At some point, there would be a lot of stepping and people coming through, and it was pretty intimidating.
The only black fraternity I knew about was the NBA. Again, this is why I don't do my stand-up material on the podcast.
It's a good joke.
I can't perform for you on the podcast.
Let me see. I'm looking at pictures.
I can play my guitar.
Yeah, it looks like the Omegas do it a lot, I guess.
The Omegas. They say those are good for your heart. That's CoQ10 or something. That's like fish oil has omega. Oh, that's omega 3 maybe. Something like that.
I do think a tattoo would probably be easier though than burning your skin, but I think the point is it's not supposed to be easy. Like white fraternities make you like eat dog shit and like crawl on broken glass and stick wine things up your ass, and then black fraternities like, hey, we're gonna just put this brand on your skin.
If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
I think that's the point. You got to be committed.
Old wise man told me that once. Said, son, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
So what country music have you been listening to?
And I said, Granddad, you're not supposed to masturbate in public. There you go. There's my minute. I've been listening to a lot of Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard. I've been listening to a lot of Texas songs.
I was going to say, have you gotten to the red dirt country yet? Like the new age Texas country?
Not as much. More so like George Strait When I go to a place, I like to embrace the music. I like to listen to songs about the place I'm in.
Well, yeah, but I think there's plenty of new, modern, or at least like current Texas country music that you could really get into. And I'd imagine there's a lot of good live music in Austin that kind of plays that type of music.
Well, yeah, they call it the live music capital of the world.
Really?
It's
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 past Nashville?
it's amazing how
I guess
similar.
Nashville isn't necessarily just live country music, or it's just live. It's country music. Does Austin have all types of music that they do live, or what?
Yeah, but they're into that red dirt, that Texas swing that stems out of Bob Wills. I don't know if you've heard of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, but when you cross, there's a line in that song that says, uh, you know, Nashville is the home of country music. On that, we all agree. But when you cross that old Red River, Hoss, that just don't mean a thing. It's Waylon Jennings doing that. Have you ever heard that song? Bob Wills is still the king.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard you reference it many times.
I feel like I've never referenced that once.
You have.
Well, I
We've
like
done a lot of
Waylon
radio
Jennings.
together. Yeah,
Oh,
we've done a
okay.
lot of radio together.
I don't know why I would have been talking about that song on
We
the
were talking
radio.
about Waylon Jennings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's a good old Waylon song, but it's amazing. I've only been here for like a week and a half, obviously, but it's amazing to me how similar Austin seems to Nashville. Like they could be like twin sister cities. Austin is Nashville with a comedy scene.
Did
Like
Austin just kind of steal Nashville's whole flow?
I don't I don't think so. I mean, I think they're both pretty original cities, but just like the
I
the
don't know. I just feel like
late
Nashville was first. I feel like Austin's kind of the new Nashville, the new and improved Nashville. Even I'm not saying that's not, but in my opinion, again, I'm not very educated on the matter. Feels to me like Austin kind of came up and kind of copied Nashville a little bit, and then added its
well,
own little thing to it.
are you talking about in recent memory, or are you going back to like the 1800s? Are you talking
Oh
about
yeah,
just,
recent memory. Because I mean,
oh,
Austin hasn't been a power city for long, has it?
I want to say Austin is a little bit ahead of Nashville, like in development and stuff. Like with those big companies, like because you got Google and Indeed here, and like,
Yeah, I mean, I just mean culturally. Like Nashville was the center of the country scene. I mean, like the CMT show or the ABC show Nashville,
well, yeah.
and and just kind of that scene. And now it feels like Austin's kind of came up recently and got on that wave as well.
Well, I feel like it's Austin's kind of its own thing because it's like that, like you were talking about that red dirt. It's like it's not country music, but it's like country western music. It's kind of its own deal. I don't really know how to describe it, but I don't know. I did see my first party bus yesterday, and I thought that they didn't really have those here, but I did see one.
They're catching up to Nashville. That's my point. They're
It,
becoming Nashville. Any
well,
woo girls get into your car yet?
yeah. I mean, I had a couple girls with like cowboy hats and stuff.
Do they have the hats on that you hate?
No, no, there's not like you don't have the bachelorette scene here, so that's good.
Okay.
But you got cool music festivals here, like South by Southwest, and then the Austin City Limits thing. Nashville doesn't really have. Well, they got CMA Fest, but that's kind of a corporate thing. But Austin doesn't have pro sports, and Nashville has pro sports, so that would be a difference. There's no
They
NFL team here.
they both have an S in their name.
They're just really similar in like the live music, the just kind of the vibe, like almost the layout of the city. It's right on the river, which I know it's a lot of cities, but I don't know. You just have to visit both. I think you'd know what I'm talking about. But I think you'd like it here, though. You should come hang out sometime. It's a cool vibe. It's a good. I really like it so far. It's a nice change of pace from Hollywood.
Do you have a place for me to sleep?
Yeah, I mean, I could get an air mattress in here.
Okay, maybe I'll come visit.
Yeah, you definitely could.
How long are you planning on being out there?
I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I mean, I'm going to try to get an apartment and give it a real go with this comedy thing if I can get on stage at some point.
So like a year at least?
Yeah, I mean, if I get an apartment, definitely.
Okay. Now, remember what I told you about the, well, I guess if you get an apartment, you won't have to worry about that, but I was going to say there's hacks around becoming a resident and all that and getting mail and everything. But if you're going to.
I'm not even really that worried about that now that I've got my Uber going. Like, I mean, I think at some point I got to get like a driver's license transferred over or something, but I'll figure all that out.
Okay.
I've been getting a message from Zen about a free mystery prize.
Have you checked it yet?
No, I'm kind of discouraged because I've been keeping all these cans trying to. I told you about the rewards, Like I got so many cans. Like, I mean, I got 5 right here, and they keep telling me about like a mystery prize.
When you get into something, you really get into it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Mountain Dew in the bottle caps? The March Madness bottle caps?
I don't want a mystery prize. I want some more goddamn Zen. Yeah, we used to get the hats, the NFL team hats, like the Pepsi and Mountain Dew caps. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the March Madness Mountain Dew caps where you would buy a Mountain Dew and then they would have a team underneath the cap, and if that team won the national championship, you got a prize.
No, I don't remember that, but I do remember when they gave out NFL hats, and you could get a hat from every team.
I don't really remember the NFL hats, but I remember I used to, man, every March, me and my Uncle Jackie, we would pound some Mountain Dews when we were out on the farm because the more you drink them, the more caps you got, which is a really brilliant thing. Really bad for like a 12-year-old and its sugar intake for me to be drinking like 3 Mountain Dews a day, but you had to get as many caps as possible, and you were trying to, get a champion. And if you got a champion, you got a jersey. And even if you collected like 30 or something, they would send you a jersey too. Maybe it was 50. If you had 50 caps, you could send those in. And they'd be like, this guy's bought enough Mountain Dews to get this jersey. And I remember I was, like in 04, I believe it was. Maybe 04 sounds right. I had a UConn one, and UConn won the title. And I had 2 UConn ones. So I got 2 jerseys. And they were the shittiest quality jerseys ever. I felt just like that little nerd off of A Christmas Story when he gets the Ovaltine or whatever, the Ovaltine code that he's trying so hard to have. That's how I felt because I'd been saving up all these goddamn bottle caps and spent about $300 in Mountain Dew, became a diabetic over the month, and then they sent me the cheapest, like, wouldn't even sell it in Dollar General jersey.
The good news
2 of them.
The good news is you've earned your jersey, but the bad news is that the size you selected no longer fits.
I can't fit into it. So I got the beat us and the jerseys falling apart. But it was a great marketing thing. I loved it. It was so great opening up those bottle caps. And, sometimes it's like, hey, free 20-ounce Mountain Dew. Or, hey, sometimes you get Kentucky or Duke. And you're like, yes, this is a good one. This one might actually win.
And they do. They definitely do.
I can't believe you don't remember those.
No, I just remember the NFL thing, but I remember being excited about those. There's few things in life that are better than a good soda. Like when you're really feeling one. Although I tell you what happened to me the other day, and this has been really grinding my gears lately, is gas stations that don't keep their drinks cold enough. And this might be something that I don't know if you relate to this because don't you like drink room temperature or something, or is that somebody else?
I drink some room temperature from time to time. I will say that's fewer and far between now.
See, I don't like that. I like a good cold, because I'm a diet man. As you can tell by my weight, I'm big on the diet sodas, and I don't drink as many of the sugary drinks. But the allure of the Diet Coke is like the crisp, cold burn you get in the throat. Like the first big sip of a Diet Coke, like that's the best thing about it. And so if it's not cold, it's just shitty. It sucks. And there's these gas stations, they're trying to save money. They're trying to cut corners.
Well, it's even more frustrating there because the 20 ounce is almost $3 now. And the idea is that you're at least getting it cold because you can buy a 2-liter for the same price, but the 2-liter is warm. But if I'm going to buy a warm one, I might as well get the 2-liter versus the 20 ounce. It's a racket. I agree with you there.
Yeah. It's certain gas stations, too. They don't keep them cold enough. 7-Eleven's bad about it.
All right, so coming up Thursday, I'll have you a joke. we're gonna play a new game, new segment. It's Cody guesses the penis size of our patrons. So if you want to play, please send me a message. Don't send it with your penis yet, but we'll play. I'll show Cody a picture of you and a little bit about your personality, and he'll guess whether your penis is big, small, or average, and then we'll have a big reveal where he gets to see it, and then he can say whether or not it matched up what he thought.
I feel like people are gonna lie though.
What do you mean lie?
That. I feel like people are gonna lie. Everybody's gonna say they have a big penis.
No. They don't say. You say. I show you the picture of what they look like.
Well, yeah, but to confirm whether or not I'm right or wrong, people are going to be like, oh, no, actually, I have a big one.
No, they're going to show you a picture.
I don't need to see patron penises. You know, these are not even my patrons. I don't make any money off of these people.
I sent you money. I sent you some money last month. Don't say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like, you know, for the most part, that's kind of your thing. So I feel like you should be analyzed. How about you analyze the penis pics then?
You're the one that thinks about it.
I don't think about it. I have an imagination.
Right, and we're gonna let that imagination come to fruition, and you get to confirm. So maybe that's
what about
maybe
the women?
Maybe on Thursday. I only got a couple of women patrons, but they can play too if they want to play. I guess fair is fair. But
what do I guess about the women? Like the size of the clitoris, the vaginal cavity. What I don't know what to guess.
The problem with that is you would not be able to confirm it. You wouldn't be able to find it.
That's pretty good. That's good. You got
nailed
it. That's a good
nailed
one.
It.
Classic
So Thursday we'll do the introductory. We'll show you the pictures of the people and a little bit about their personality, and then on Monday we'll actually show you the penis or labia.
I don't have to actually see the penis, but this is a good idea for a segment, though. It's good. Okay. It's good audience participation.
All right, so patrons, if you're interested in showing Cody your hog,
but listen,
let me know if you want to play.
It's not just the size of the hog, though. Part of the imaginative process of this is like the outline, the shape, is it got the extra skin or not? Is there a big bundle of pubes? Does he have a low-hanging sack? Does one testicle go further down than the other? One of them's in the toilet water. Like, that's the whole
okay.
It's a whole imaginative process.
Fair enough. If you're going to play the patron penis game with Cody, you must be willing to show many angles of said penis so he can really examine it.
And are we talking now?
Meet Inspector McClure will get to the bottom of everything about you.
And when we're talking about the size now, we're talking flaccid. Okay, we're not talking about hard dicks.
No, you can do both. You can do both.
Well, hard is a game changer because the whole grower shower thing. I'm talking about what does a guy look like when he's just walking around town? What's that dick look like when you're just walking down the sidewalk?
That's one of my biggest fears.
I did tell you about that guy on the sidewalk that was hard the other day, though, didn't I? I think I already mentioned that on the last podcast, but
you did. You've been thinking about it ever since.
It's hard to get it out of my head.
Meet Inspector McClure. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Okay. Goodbye.
See ya.